All right. Good evening, sorry friends. It's the Mitty Man coming at you again from Walk Studio. Still sitting here, Studio B, tickling on the keys a little bit, taking a break to come to y'all. We're giving God all the praise and honor tonight. Um, and I want to do something a little different on this here Friday evening. It's still not 12 o'clock yet, so it's still Friday evening. I just want to let everybody know that we give honor God the honor always, and we honor the disciple friends. We give y'all your due. Want to do something a little different on this here Friday. I normally this is the Jewish Sabbath. It started at sundown at 6 o'clock. It's Sabbath for the Jews. Start at 6 o'clock on Friday, end at 6 o'clock on the Saturday evening. But it's the Sabbath. And I always give honor and I respect that day in light of my Jewish brothers. And I normally would do, I used to try to do a communion on Friday, but I've been missing so many of them. I just decided that, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. But I did want to take a break here to do this scripture reading in honor of the Sabbath. I wanted to do this scripture reading here and just do a little brief teaching on this here particular night, if the Lord says so. And the Lord is always listening out for his word, but to perform, God will perform just what he said. We can always count on the Lord. So right here, I just want to take the time out. We're not going to 24th chapter of Matthew tonight. I want you to back up a little bit. I want to go to Matthew 23. We talked about Matthew 24 on the other day when I was trying to let y'all know some things about the end time. But now I want to go back a chapter before that, and I want to read you something. I think this is very important. I think it's very important. And I don't think it was no accident that Jesus put this right before Matthew 24. Matthew 23 says, Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Y'all listen at this now. Got quotation mark. Not quotation, my God, listen at me. We got my mind done went on me. That's just that quick. But colon marks. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Y'all hear that? They say, but they don't do. In other words, Jesus was saying here, now, they sit in Moses' seat. In other words, they know the law. They know what's written in the law, but they don't do it. So, but he said, whatever they say do, they telling you what to do. They know what they talking about. You can do it. Make certain that you do it. But don't you do it according to them, because they say, but don't do. In other words, Jesus called them hypocrite. That's a hypocrite. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men, that they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garment. In other words, they enlarge it. In other words, what he's saying, Jesus saying, if y'all ever notice the Jewish men, when they wear them leather straps around their head and everything, and that phylactery is that little box. It's a little square box they have right in the middle of their forehead up there. And they made it big so they can make sure that that box contained the Jewish Hebrew text. Maybe more likely some of the laws and the commandments and whatnot. And they made that real big to be seen. They want to be seen of men. Jesus said that's the reason they did that. Because they want to be seen. But he said all of their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries. In other words, those little boxes, they make them real broad so they can be seen. And enlarge the borders of their garments. And love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogue. In other words, the big shot seats. And greetings in the market, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But Jesus said, but be not ye called Rabbi, You hear that? Jesus, don't you be called rabbi. He was talking to his disciples. He talking to all of us that call to be followers of the Lamb. He telling us we not to be called that. He's don't you be called that. Look what he said. For one is your master, even Christ. See, Christ is the master. Christ is the rabbi. And all you are brethren. In other words, all of us are co-laborers in this gospel. We are brethren. We are not to look at one as no super being above another one, no rabbi. I'm not going to call you no master. God, Christ is my master, not you. I don't care how many books you write or how many stories you tell, or how many shows you be on TV in. I'm not calling you my master because you are not my master. Christ is my master. In other words, and he said, and call no man your father upon the earth. You hear that? Call no man your father on the earth. For one is your Father, which is in heaven. This Jesus talking, people. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall honor himself shall be exalted. May God add a blessing to the reading and hearers of his word. I read you 12 verses of Matthew chapter 23. And it's very simple, people. It's very simple. This is why I tell y'all all the time. Even tonight I did today I did a little tutorial because I was asked to do this tutorial. A young lady asked me for it on one of the tutorials I did way back in 2011, I think it was. And I tried to do I did a revision of it for her. But I told her as well, I did not really consider, I got my buddy, which is Brother Richard Butler. Y'all should know him. He got his YouTube channel is House of Jazz. That's what he called himself now. He is the one that I direct everybody to get them to do their tutorial. Brother Butler is one of the best I've seen yet. Now I got quite a few pals that I've met on the internet over the years that I've been on here that does good job. They does good job and great at these tutorials. Like I said, my brother Hammerman, which is no longer doing them anymore, and Brother JT, who no longer, I don't think, does them anymore. About like me, if anybody asks to do something, he might do it. I'm not certain about that. I haven't seen him do one in quite a while. And Brother Sam Tolbert and everything. Those guys are all good at doing what they do. And this is how come I say I pointed everybody to my buddy Richard Butler. So Brother Richard Butler is specializing in doing tutorials right now on YouTube, and I'd suggested that everybody would, if you're not going to get him to do it, at least go and check him out and check out his tutorials, and you be the judge of it. In my opinion, I think he's one of the best. He's by far one of the best. And so this is how come I say I try to lift up others. This scripture shows you that. Don't try to put your own self up. Lift up others. Humble yourself up under the hand of God. You do that, and then the Lord will lift you up in due time. But give others more. You esteem others better than yourself. That's what Jesus said do. And he told of us all not to call neither one of us. We should call each other master. No. No, that's the wrong title for me or you. The master is Christ. Point blank. The Father is God. Point blank. Period. Don't give don't give his accolade to nothing else beside himself. People, we got to learn to do what the scripture says. And like I said on this here Sabbath, I used to be doing communion. But like I said, we just got away from it's just like just about everything now. People are getting away from anything that's really good. You don't, like I said, anything that's good and noteworthy. In other words, we won't think on those things, but anything else we can, we do it without even thinking about it sometimes. But you can't judge anybody. Everybody got to do as they seem fit. But I got to tell the truth. You cannot negate the word of God. I don't care how much you try to justify yourself. You cannot justify yourself when you're wrong. period. And you are very in big grave danger if you try to justify yourself even when you're wrong. But nevertheless, like I say, we are, I don't know, like I said, I just felt that. I got my Bible out because, as a matter of fact, this is one of my favorite Bibles. It got the large print, but I still have to use these glasses to see it, people. This was before I got, with all this diabetes stuff and everything, got in my eyes. But nevertheless, we, thank God, we still can at least read it with the glasses on. So we want to just tell everybody again that we thank God for you and everything. And like I say, as for those tutorials, I do not mind if someone asks me like this young lady did. And matter of fact, it was a tutorial that I done years ago. It was back in 2011 when I did that tutorial, and on Call Jesus. It's just a little basic song, quartet song, sung by the Canton Spiritual. But I pointed, and if everybody look at my, if you look at my descriptions on that video, you'll see where I pointed all of you to the House of Jazz. That's my buddy, brother Richard Butler. That's his YouTube channel, and he specializes in those tutorials. And I've checked all them tutorials out. The most of them I done seen, and I mean, he's awesome in doing these tutorials. You will not be dissatisfied, I guarantee you. Just go and check them out, and you be the judge. I mean, I'm quite sure you'll be well pleased. So in light of the scriptures of Matthew 23, 1 through 12, we want to say, God bless everyone. And remember, if you humble yourself, God will be the one to lift you up in due time. Just humble yourself. Don't worry about it. Ain't nobody getting ahead of you. Whatever God got for you, it is for you. You don't have to step on people and try to undercut and undermine nobody. Just be good at what you do, and God will lift you up in due time. But you got to have patience. Don't try to step on folks. Be good, be blessed. Until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first. This is Nitty Man saying peace and good night.